5. The morning light was gentle. Rosalie walked along the edge of the camp of her women, wondering where her ally was. He had missed the prearranged nocturnal meeting. She hoped that Lear had not been slain. She waited a bit longer. When he did not arrive, she assumed the worst and turned to rejoin her people. "Wait," Lear's voice came from the edge of the woods. "Lear," Rosalie called.
Don't come any closer. I do not want anyone to see me,"
he said to her. "It is okay. Branwen is gone. The others will accept you again. They will even be glad for it. We need you. We lost some people in the battle, and Donna needs your care with her arm."
"I cannot,"
Lear called.
I do not trust myself amongst them. I do not deserve to be amongst them."
Rosalie attempted to approach him, but he hissed at her.
"Stay there. Do not look at me,"
he commanded. "Lear, what do I need to do to help you?" she asked.
"I am beyond any help. I have slain our kinswomen. They are dead. By my hand,"
Lear said. "Branwen and her lot deserved it. They would have murdered you," Rosalie said.
"And the women harmed by my sorcery, the women harmed by my deceptions. What did they do to merit such a fate? Their sufferings are my fault. Mine,"
Lear hissed.
"By our customs, I am an outlaw."
"Then as the war leader that has been chosen, I pardon your offenses. Now come, let me aid you," Rosalie commanded. But Lear laughed at her.
"How are you fit to pardon me, when it is your hands that aided the plot? How can you face them and know that our kinswomen are dead because of us?"
Rosalie drew herself to her full height. She presented him with the air of a regal authority that she had been trained in. "Men and women die. What matters is what they died for. It is no different than a war leader ordering men to hold a battlefield and knowing that they will all die. Such things happen in war to save an army. If you would make their deaths worthwhile, you will come and aid your tribe." Now Lear allowed her to see him. He had not washed away the gore and was still coated in it. Behind him the wolves followed him loyally. Despite her desire not to show fear, Rosalie retreated a step before him.
"How you deny your guilt. You and I are little better than the sorcerer who would have used us as tools in his plots. He saw our kinswomen as nothing more than a means to his ends, and we have treated them exactly the same. You will say we did this to save lives, and it is true, but so did Hachganuk justify his abuse of us to save Pictish lives. He has turned us into monsters, and you have the good fortune to have the transformation still hidden beneath a human skin. I do not have that luxury. I have never been treated as a brother to my kin, and is it any wonder? Look at me. Look at me and tell me if you honestly think I have any place amongst the world of men."
Lear roared. His bright yellow eyes flared, and the influence of the mark was strongly upon him. It caused his voice to sound less human, and his scent had changed. Every instinct in Rosalie screamed at her to run, for Lear smelled like a wolf, sounded like a wolf, and his anger, he was acting like a wolf. "No!" she screamed, not meaning it as a rebuke but as a declaration of her fear. She shielded her eyes with her arms, afraid he would strike her. When she opened her eyes and risked looking at where he had stood, he was gone. Rosalie realized that he had taken her answer as a condemnation, and she cursed her stupidity. Out of fear she had lost her kinsman, the best ally they could have had. Worse, she could not call after him, or the others would know that Lear had survived, and questions she could not afford to answer would be asked by her followers. She clasped a hand over her mouth until she was sure she would not call after him. Regret, an emotion she had not much experience with, sat heavy in her gut. She looked towards home, towards Samaria and Ben Morg. She thought of Crom the Uncaring. "Bugger you!" she snarled.